Meatballs, bare feet, live chicks, a course of teenagers, cringy Clayton jokes, and only 3 men going home. I'm here with your recap of the historic premiere of The Bachelorettes. Welcome to Roses and Proposes, your go-to Bachelor Nation recap show. I'm your host, Kelly Johns, bringing you weekly recaps of Gabby Windey and Rachel Recchia's journey to love. This premiere started off with Jesse Palmer and Gabby and Rachel constantly telling us that they have no idea how this season's going to work. And I gotta say, I think production did this on purpose. Left the leads and the host with little to no direction so that more chaos ensues. I mean, come on, we know how production works by this point, people. First man out of the limo was Zach. And he didn't necessarily stand out that much, but production choosing to show Zach to us, the audience first, usually means something. So I think we can expect to see more of Zach throughout the season. Then we meet Avon, and okay, I'm married, but I think we can all agree that Avon looks good, okay? He tells Gabby that he's gonna do right by her and make her Grandpa John proud, and we're all dying to see Grandpa John this season. And he tells Rachel he's gonna do right by her so that he doesn't get in trouble with her dad, Big Tony. Downset hut, we are hit with some big football energy by Coach Kirk. And Kirk, come on, this is not the national championship, it's the Bachelorette, so calm down a little bit. Kirk not only pumps the ladies up, but then he goes inside and he's pumping up the other men. And I'm like, Kirk, did you forget that you're actually competing against these men? Logan comes in holding 2 live animals in his hands. 2 chicks, because he's excited to meet 2 chicks. Men like Hayden, Johnny, and Ryan definitely thought they were funny with mentioning Clayton in their entrances. The girls, however, were not fans of hearing their ex's name again. And then to top it off, Alec brings in a chorus of corny 12-year-olds to sing a song about how much Clayton sucks. Okay, I have no idea how old these kids are, but they look 12, right? I mean, it looks like Alec just went to his church youth group and asked these kids to come on live TV and sing about a random guy they don't know and how much he sucks. James comes in with the longest, biggest meatball sub known to mankind and tells the ladies his nickname is, you guessed it, Meatball. Justin B comes in completely barefoot to prove to the ladies he's grounded. And, you know, his feet actually look pretty good. I think he got a pedicure beforehand. Roby the magician does a magic trick with a watch to prove that he is there to focus on spending time with these ladies. Let's see how that works out for you, Roby. John, oh John, has the classic slip-up of accidentally saying hi, Rachel, to Gabby. Tino comes in on a forklift. He's definitely not forking around with his entrance, tells the ladies that they are forking stunning. And Rachel is starting to feel the tingles with Tino. And Jacob, comes in on a white horse named Blanco. Now let's get into the conversations inside the house and see who hit it off best with Gabby and Rachel. We begin with Roby. Roby decides to keep the magic tricks going. And unfortunately, Rachel and Gabby are not feeling any magic sparks with Roby. Next, the ladies both talk to the twins. So it's like a double date of sorts, except still 0 chemistry and 0 connection. And come on, let's face it. These twins, I'm sure they're nice guys. They're 24. They're basically kids. They are not husband material for Rachel nor Gabby. Finally, we see Gabby's first connection with Ryan as he teaches her some of his hometown lingo because, you know, he's already planning on taking her home. He's quite confident. They have some great banter. He even shushes Gabby at one point, which I thought was a little too aggressive. She liked it. So hey, that's all that matters. Both Gabby and Rachel are having some good conversations with men like Avon, Jordan V, Hayden, and Jacob, Fabio, but they keep complaining that none of these guys are going in for the kiss. Until Mario! He makes the move. He and Gabby have a sultry conversation. He goes in for it. He asks for the kiss. He gets the kiss. And they have a steamy makeout. My girl Gabby wants more. one makeout's not enough for the night. She also makes out with Eric, and Eric is feeling super confident after this makeout. He also has a good conversation with Rachel, doesn't make out with her, but he's confident he's gonna get the first impression rose from one of the ladies. Does he? Sorry, Eric, not today. The first impression rose for Gabby goes to our boy, Mario. Now, who's the lucky man that gets to make out with Rachel? Well, Tino, of course. She's obsessed with Tino already. They make out on the stairs, and no surprise, she gives her first impression rose to Tino. They make out again. It's forking amazing. I did find it interesting that each man, before they went in for the kiss, they asked, "Can I kiss you?" I'm always going to applaud and encourage consent, of course, but personally, I think this kind of ruins the moment, like my husband, our first kiss. He didn't ask. He just, started going in a little bit. I started going in a little bit. You feel it. You know it's mutual. You go for it. The words, I think, kind of like break up the moment and kill the vibe a little bit. So that's just my opinion. If two people are feeling it, they both lean in. If one person's not feeling it, they're gonna lean away. Just my thoughts. I'm not the Bachelorette, so I guess my opinion doesn't really matter. Now it's time for the first rose ceremony. And the women are struggling because they didn't have enough time to talk to everyone, which is always the case, right? The lead never has time to talk to everyone in one night, even though they film until like 7, 8 a.m. But the women are like, this isn't fair, and I respect that. So it seems like they're going to keep everyone. But they decide to only let go 3 men. And I respect the fact that they didn't want to keep these guys and just string them along when they knew there was no connection, but it also breaks my heart because 3 out of 32, that must feel like really crappy and must really hurt their feelings. But these 3 men were Roby, the magician, and the 2 twins, the children. So, sorry guys. And then we see an epic preview for this season. Lots of tears, lots of makeouts, of course, lots of drama. And this part that kind of made me go, we saw some of the men denying a rose of one woman and saying, no, I'm here for the other. That was kind of my biggest fear, that the men would kind of get more power this season instead of the 2 female leads. But I'm, of course, excited to see how it goes. And before we end, I have to give out my first impression rose for the night. My rose goes to Avon. I think Avon was the best looking, but also really sincere. They didn't show too much of him, but I think that's kind of a good sign. And I really think that Avon's gonna hit it off with Rachel this season. I think he's gonna go top 4. After every premiere, I like to make my own personal predictions of who I think is gonna make it to the very end. So my final prediction for Rachel, gotta be Tino. I mean, unbeatable connection, right? Tino all the way for me. And then for Gabby, this is kind of a random pick, but I'm going with Jason. When he came out of the limo, Gabby said, ooh, he's my type. Didn't see a lot of him night 1. We did see him in the preview a little bit. I just have a good feeling about Jason. Well, that's it for your first episode of Roses and Proposes. Let me know in the comments your thoughts of the premiere, your final predictions for the end of the season, and if you prefer to be asked if someone can kiss you. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, follow me on Instagram, and tune in every week. I'll see you guys next week.